Today on Ask This Old House.
Running the air conditioner seems to be a bit much, so we were hoping maybe get a whole house fan.
Well, a whole house fan for a climate like this is perfect.
Hi, everybody. We're headed back to school to build a vegetable garden, and it's a design you can use in your own backyard. The first tomato, you ship it to my house, okay?
Okay.
Your water heater is about to change because of new federal regulations. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
And it's a white plastic container with baskets. What is it?
I have always used this for one thing,
What's that?
money laundering.
Money laundering?
That's next on Ask This Old House. Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to a brand new season of Hello, Scott. I'm trying to open the show. What are you doing?
How are you? I'm just
Can
getting
you-
back to a tweet.
On your watch?
Yeah,
Can you?
it's pretty good.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, welcome back to a brand new season of Ask This Old House, where we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, send us a letter, or apparently send us a tweet to a watch or something like that.
Please change temperature to 70.
Me? You want me to do that?
No, actually, no. My watch is talking to my phone. It's actually chatting with the thermostat.
You too. How about the technology? You weren't
Yeah.
talking to me.
No, I was talking to just my friends here.
That's probably the best conversation you had all day. So technology everywhere, the computer's out. What is it that you're actually working on?
Well, actually, today I'm going to be talking about federal regulations just went into effect on water heaters, gas, electric, or oil.
Okay.
If you're thinking about changing a water heater, you got to know what I'm talking about.
All right, well, I'm definitely going to check it back in. But right now, I'm excited to see Roger and Jenn Nawada back with us. Hey, Jenn.
How are you?
I'm doing great. So you helped us out on a couple big projects on This Old House over the years. Now you're helping us out on Ask. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting. She's going to help us with projects, and we have one we're already working on.
Oh, what's that? What are you guys thinking about doing?
We're actually going to do a vegetable bed for a third grade class.
Making the plans right now.
The third grade. That explains the kids' books. I was getting a little worried that you guys were taking a test or
Oh,
something.
about me?
No.
No,
All right.
we got an email from the assistant principal of this third grade class asking for help, so we started a design. We're going to go over there and help them out.
Very cool. Looking forward to checking that out. So everybody's here except for Tommy. Where'd he go?
He was supposed to go to LA, and I assume he did, but there might be some issues. This is his boarding pass.
Today we're heading to Los Angeles. People think of it as a warm and sunny place with towering palm trees and miles of beaches. But the truth is it doesn't get that hot. The average high is about 75 degrees and the average cool is about 58. That means that much of the year, a homeowner can do just fine without running any air conditioning.
Tommy, welcome to California.
Thank you, it's nice to be here.
Pleasure to meet you.
I like your house. How long have you been here?
Only about a year and a half, but we really love it.
Craftsman style bungalow. I love the houses.
Thanks.
I love the multiple beam ceiling, the simple casing around the door, and that high wainscoting. Really nice.
Thank you.
Now, normally when I come into a bungalow, you think of the woodwork as being dark, but you've got it painted nice and white and bright. It really opens up the space.
Yeah, there's a ton of windows, lets in the morning light.
That's a beautiful angled bay.
When we bought the house, it was actually already done, so from an aesthetic standpoint, we didn't have to touch it much.
Nice kitchen, marble tops, shaker style cabinets. Everything goes with the house beautifully, and it looks like they did a nice job.
Yeah, we love the house, but really when we come home in the evenings, it's a little warm, and it's actually quite cool outside being Southern California. Running the air conditioner seems to be a bit much, so we were hoping maybe get a whole house fan.
Well, a whole house fan for a climate like this is perfect. A whole house fan generally mounts in the ceiling of the highest finished floor of the house. When you open the windows at night and turn on the fan, the cool air is drawn into the windows and the warm air is forced into the attic. Then the air is pushed out any vents that are in the attic, like a soffit vent, ridge vent, gable vent, or even a roof vent, cooling the house. Let me show you what I brought.
Great.
All right, here's the fan.
So it doesn't look very big. Is this enough to cool the house?
Well, it's a small fan, and it is enough to cool your house. You have 2,000 square feet of living space. This fan is designed to pull 1,600 cubic feet of air out of your house a minute. There's two fans, multiple speeds. It actually will fit in between the joist bays, which is really nice. You don't have to head anything off. But one thing I like about this fan is actually two doors on it that will open when the fan is running. And when they close and they seal real tight, so no air in your house will leak into the attic. Now, the only thing you're going to see down here is this louver right here. I'm thinking about mounting it right here in the ceiling. What do you think?
I think that looks good.
All right, let's get it installed. All right, good. Now up in the attic, I have marked the location on where we're going to install the fan. And I took the center point from this recessed light fixture right here that's down in the kitchen. We'll mount the fan right here. Now when you're installing a whole house fan, there's a couple of things that you really have to think about. First of all, you got to think about all the air that's being drawn out from down below, being forced into the attic. It has to have some place to go, like a gable vent, a roof vent, soffit vents, or a ridge vent. You have to make sure there's enough openings for that air to get out, and you've got plenty.
Okay, good.
The other thing you really want to think about is how you heat your house. Now up here in your attic, you have a gas system. You want to make sure that that furnace has an electronic ignition, not a pilot, because when the fan goes on, it could blow that pilot out. And obviously, you don't want to run that when the fan's on, because you don't want to take that warm air that's in the house and blow it out.
Right.
The first thing we need to do is put a couple of blocks on each side here to block off this bay, so when the fan's on, it won't take the air from the attic. You want to take it all from below. All right, with the blocking in place, I'm going to use a jab saw to cut the opening. You just follow behind me to keep the dust down. Now we could just put the fan right into this rough opening, but the manufacturer offers this also. It's actually an isolator that will bring the fan up higher away from the living space, and it's insulated so it'll make it a little quieter.
Oh, that's great. That's a really popular part of the house, and we don't want a lot of interruptions from the fan.
You shouldn't have it. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to seal across the top of the joist. Now with these metal tabs, I can just secure it to the joist. I also want to run a bead of caulking around the top to seal that top joint. All we have to do is screw down the fan and then plug it in. All right, that's the last screw. What do you think of the louver?
Looks great.
Okay, now to activate the fan, you actually use this remote control right here. It has two switches, on and off, and high and low. So when I push the on and off, the doors upstairs will slowly open. Once they've opened fully, the fans will come on. There it is, fan's on. So now we can control the speed. Hit that again, just went to low. Now if I push the on-off button again, the fan shuts off and the doors slowly close. And when they close, they'll be sealed nice and tight and you won't get any air leaking through there.
That's fantastic. Actually, next week we have a heat wave, so we're looking forward to trying this out and seeing how it does with cooling the house.
I think it's gonna work great and I think you're gonna save some money.
I agree. Thanks so much, Tommy.
My pleasure.
Wow, that's a pretty straightforward installation. I love that.
Simple installation,
Yeah.
that's what I like.
So how much thought has to go into sizing these units? Because I mean, you're always balancing air
Yeah.
conditioning
Yeah.
systems. Are you balancing anything, or?
I'm not balancing anything. I'm just thinking about how many times we're going to change all the air in the house on a regular basis.
So how do you figure that?
Well, that's a 2,000 square foot house with an 8-foot ceiling. That gives me about 16,000 cubic feet of air in that house.
So square feet to cubic feet.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this thing changes, it moves how much?
1,600. All right. So that's every 10 minutes, the entire air in that house is going to go through that fan.
Wow, so fresh air for the whole house completely
right.
every 10
Right.
minutes. That's going to make a huge difference.
That's right.
Huge difference.
There's also an efficiency story. You know, you put a whole house fan in, if it's in the right application, you run that thing, it runs 200 watts maybe for electricity.
Yeah.
An air conditioner might use 10 times that.
Huge savings.
So nice and comfortable and save some money.
That's right.
I love
Fresh
it.
air all the time.
Love it.
Never ever gonna catch this one.
All right.
Okay, it's plastic. You can see through it, and in the top of these little plastic cups with holes in them. What is it?
I use this all the time.
You do not. You do not at all. The absolute must-have essential ingredient to any good dinner party.
What?
This. This is.
You having dinner parties?
You'll get invited someday. Do you know how? You know how people like to have their filtered water?
No,
So they
how?
pour the water in and it goes through the filter and then they've got the
Yeah.
chug and they can put it in the glass.
thing with the thing, yeah.
Well, what if you want a filtered cocktail? Huh? Well, that's what this is for, right? So you put the gin, let's say you want a dirty martini, but you don't want it that dirty. You just so you put the gin in there, you put the vermouth just a bit right in there, you put
That's
the
all you
olive
need.
juice right in there, and then you put the gin in there, and the gin goes in there. And then you have, Sonny, a filtered martini, and the party gets going.
Tastes like it's coming out of an oil can.
Why is that?
That's not what it is at all.
No?
No. You guys haven't noticed in the last 6 or 8 months I've been on a diet? Huh?
When are you starting?
I said I've been on a diet the last. This is for individual portions of vegetables.
Wow.
Okay.
You fill this with water, you put it on top of the oven, you boil the water, and you have
Oh, you
steam.
steamed it.
Steamed vegetables,
Pasta.
nothing healthier.
Absolutely. Steamed pasta with, let's say, penne with spinach. I have zucchini with chicken. And I have, what else can I have?
More pasta. Okay,
you have some
Porky.
vegetables?
Okay, Porky.
Okay.
Well, I've been losing weight.
You have not. I have always used this for one thing:
What's that?
money laundering.
Money laundering?
Money laundering. You know what I mean? You plug this in, it's ultrasonic, and you can clean up any coins, get the germs off of that.
Look at you.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That is amazing. Check that
It is
out.
pretty
All
good.
Wait
clean.
a minute. Wait a minute. That's not money laundering. That's money stealing.
All right. You've been on a diet, huh?
Hey, watch it. I'm sensitive.
Guys, you never could have guessed this because I didn't tell you everything. You know, just the type of guy I am. Here's the whole setup, right? First, you put water in. You add some beta fish. They do their business, and it provides nutrients into the water. The water gets pumped up and goes through these plants. Now, this is sprouts, and this is wheatgrass, and you can see how well they're growing after being fertilized.
Way to go, fishies.
Sounds fishy, Roger. Very fishy. So, Richard, new regulations on water heaters?
Absolutely. I've been expecting you, so I set up some water heaters. These laws were passed 5 years ago. They've now come into play. And what it is, the government's trying to find a way for us to use less energy for making hot water. Everybody's got a water heater. They're on all day long. So what they're doing in the smaller units, up to 30, 40, and up to 50 gallons, is they're trying to make them more energy efficient by insulating them better. So this is a gas water heater right here. Here's the burner. Here's your hot and cold. It has a flue right here. Well, they're going to mandate that now there's at least 2 inches of insulation versus 1 inch on the side.
Yep.
And they're going to have 2 to 4 inches right here, and that's where a lot of the heat wants to go.
So that's going to save us some energy. Do I care if it gets a little bigger, a little fatter, a little taller?
Not if you've got a wide open basement, but there are many people that have a water heater jammed in a closet that only has a ½ an inch on either side anyways. Now, all of a sudden, you got issues. You now have to, it wouldn't fit. Or, think about this. Many of them have their flue right here into a chimney. If that water heater, replacement water heater, is 4 inches higher, that flue no longer fits into that hole. You now have to re-brick the chimney and do it a different way.
So more insulation on the smaller ones.
Yeah.
What happens to the bigger ones, and what is bigger?
Well, bigger is over 55 gallons. Now, those are bigger energy users. So in the gas units, a conventional tank type water heater like this, which goes into a chimney, is no longer allowed.
What?
It's going to be called a condensing water heater. And the
yeah.
condensing means it uses so much of the fuel that you've paid for that the flue products have no temperature left in it. You can't go into the chimney. Now you have to go with a PVC or plastic vent of some sort and direct vent it to outside.
So that's a huge change because you
Absolutely.
might have to move it, or you might have to actually put it in a whole different room in the basement.
That's right.
So that's with gas. It has
Yeah.
a flue. Electric, we know, doesn't have a flue.
Right,
What if you've got big electric?
Electric, you know, up to 55, you got this with a little electric heater. After that, it's no longer allowed. You've got to look at something like this. Now, this is a hybrid. This is a heat pump. That you got the tank down below, it has a backup element, but what it does predominantly is gather the heat that's inside the building, wasted heat that's inside the building, and puts it, moves it into the water heater. And this is worth it in many ways because you're going to save energy about 50% more than this in operating costs, but it comes at a size
Boy, it
and
does.
a price premium.
So these are all tank types. We have got the on-demand. Anything happen with these?
This, there's no, you can't get more efficient than this. There's no, this is still accepted and recommended.
You got one of those, don't
because
worry
this
about it.
you only pay for the energy you use when you want it.
And just to be clear, this is only for new water heaters. If I've got one in the basement, regardless of how old it is, I don't have to touch it until
That's
it's
right.
time to replace.
But it's not going to last forever, Kevin. They only last 7 to 10 years.
Good information.
All right.
Thank you.
Keith, I get a lot of requests from homeowners to help them with their vegetable garden. But the idea of helping a school with a vegetable garden, that really intrigues me.
Well, awesome, Roger, because 8 years ago, one of our third grade teachers started our garden here. She wanted to really bring hands-on curriculum into her classroom. So her and a community member started the garden. Since then, it's been growing really strong, and we actually use our produce in our cafeteria here with our students.
But how do you incorporate it into the classroom?
Well, let's go check it out. So, Roger, this is Jamie Nolan, one of our third grade teachers. Come on in. Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Mr. Kenny.
Sorry to interrupt, Miss Nolan. This is Mr. Cook, boys and girls.
Hi, everybody. It's been a long time since I've been in third grade. That's what you are, third graders, right?
Yeah.
Do you still get detention?
No.
No? That's where I spend all my time, in the corner. Well, I'm here because you all are growing stuff. Look at you, all got seedlings on your desks. What are you growing, Malak?
Sweet peppers.
Sweet peppers, that's great. Sean, what about you? What are you growing?
I'm doing sweet pepper too.
Sweet peppers too? We're gonna have a bunch of those. What about you, Raina?
I'm actually growing tomatoes.
My favorite. This is so great. How did you get these kids to have vegetables as part of a course?
Well, the curriculum has them learning about the life cycle of a plant from seed to seed, and having the garden is such a great opportunity because they can grow the plants from seeds in the classroom, and then they can transplant them outside, and as the plants mature over the summer, they can come and harvest the fruit and see the whole life cycle.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it's great.
How about a big hand for Miss Nolan? Now, we're gonna go out, we're gonna build some new veggie beds for you to plant in. So we'll
Great.
be out and do that later on.
Okay,
We'll
sounds
go
good.
work on the beds.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so where in the plant does photosynthesis happen?
Jen, I know you designed some new beds, but how did the old beds look?
Well, the old beds, great start to your outdoor classroom.
Thank you.
But I think we need to build some new ones that are just a little bit bigger so you could put more stuff in it.
Great.
And another thing is location. This shade tree
Yeah.
is going to take up a lot of your sun.
Well, our maples are like our students. You can't stop them from growing.
Yeah, but the vegetables need full sun to grow. They're annuals, and the more sun they get, the better they'll grow.
Great.
So up here is going to be a perfect spot because in about 1 hour, this is going to be full cooking sun for vegetables and annuals to grow.
Great.
So on the ground over here, we're going to put a 4-foot wide bed by 12 feet long.
Now, these are going to be raised beds. 4 feet allows you to reach into the middle to get weeds or pick your fruit.
Yep.
But the raised bed allows you to come in here and put in just the right soil for growing vegetables.
Perfect.
And as we travel this way, this big vertical space of a brick wall, we are going to install an arbor. So the kids have a tunnel to run the path of the garden. And then on the front side, where all the good soil is, the grapes can grow up the arbor and cover it.
Kids will love that.
How do you like the design?
I'm ready. Roger, Jen, let's do it.
Let's go to work.
Great.
We're going to build these beds out of 2x10 rough sawn spruce. We're just going to butt the 4 pieces together and screw them with 3-inch screws. We're going to square up the box and put a corner piece on to hold it all together. And we'll hold the sides in place with these stakes. Now, all 4 beds are built and we're ready to fill them up. And this is what we're going to use. This is a 50-50 mix of loam and compost. The loam gives it structure. It'll allow it to drain, and the compost adds all sort of micronutrients to the soil and helps things grow.
Well, that's great because one of our biggest goals here at the school is to keep our garden fully organic.
Then that compost will definitely help. Let's get some wheelbarrows full and get them in the beds.
Great.
Now we're ready to build our arbor. It starts by digging a hole about 20 inches deep. Then we put in our posts, which are made of 4x4 cedar. Once we get them plumb, we screw them to the bed. Looking pretty good?
We'll use these wood chips to create paths between the beds and cut down on weeds.
All right, the beds are all ready to plant. You guys ready?
Yeah!
Do you girls know how to get the plants out of the containers?
Not really.
You squeeze squeeze it, loosen it up, and gently tug it and pull it like that, okay?
Okay.
Tomato is one plant that you can plant fairly deep because it will take and develop roots on the stem and become very vigorous.
What do you have there in your hand?
I have a pepper.
Great job.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna take this grape and that's gonna go right there because it likes to climb and it's gonna climb all the way up to the top of our trellis. That'll be pretty neat, huh?
So what should your design be? What do you think?
I think it should be the peppers in the middle.
Yes, now you can plant them. Give it a little love over there. Excellent.
Look at that, huh? You're gonna have basil in no time.
So we're gonna give all these brand new plants a good deep watering. This is called leaf mulch. See these little fine old leaf particles? And we are gonna mulch all these garden beds. It'll help keep the moisture in and make it look pretty.
Well, Keith, an expanded garden we told you we would give you, and that's what you got. What do you think?
It looks absolutely amazing, Roger.
And just wait till it all fills in. All the plants will be this tall, the grapes will go over the arbor, it's gonna be lush.
With the soil we put in here is so good, these things are gonna grow like crazy. So what do you guys think?
Amazing.
You guys are great. A lot of hard work, thank
All right,
you guys.
I need someone to be in charge of watering. All of you, great.
Thank you.
The first tomato, you ship it to my house, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, we had a great time.
That is a great project. And you guys really know your way around third graders.
Well, Jen especially.
I've got a couple kids of my own.
It helps, doesn't it?
It does.
So the assistant principal looked like he was really working.
He did a great job. He came out and worked with us all day. If it wasn't for him, we'd still be there
That's
working.
awesome. So I assume you deliberately chose not to use treated wood for the beds?
They wanted an organic garden, so we wanted to build it out of untreated wood.
So spruce for the raised beds, cedar for the trellis. Why the two different species?
Well, we use the rough cut spruce because it's really thick and it's going to last a long time.
And less expensive than the cedar?
Less expensive than cedar.
Right, but what about, would you ever consider finishing it, giving it some color?
No, just let it fade naturally, have that silvery gray. And the posts, the cedar, it'll be beautiful.
You know, it really does a nice job of knocking down that big brick wall.
Yeah, it was
Soften a
definitely
little
big.
bit. And I gotta say, you guys actually make a pretty good team.
Brains and brawn. Hey, she's going to be around to help us with a few more projects this season.
Awesome, we could use some more brains around here. All right, well, if you've got any problems with your house, we'd love to hear from you. Send us your letters, your emails, your tweets. We are here to help. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Roger Cook.
And I'm Jenn Nawada.
For Ask This Old House.
Boy, those tomatoes were great.
Yeah, when are we gonna get some? Did you get any?
Nothing. Got nothing.
Next time on Ask This Old House.
I'll show you an easy way to get electricity to a detached garage.
And are squeaky floors driving you crazy?
And over here, especially by the changing table, is very squeaky.
And I'll show you why wearing the right safety equipment is so important when you're running a chainsaw.